Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with our D Love. And listen, I am so glad to be back. Let me just say that. It feels so good to be back. I'm happy to be back. I had to restart this video because I was so hungry when I got back because I was half eaten today. Just wanted to get something quick in the airport. Didn't want to spend all my coins up in the airport. So I just got something quick with a drink and came on home. But so grateful that I was blessed to be here in one piece. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand. So I just wanted to talk a little bit. Listen, okay, so what's getting ready to happen is I done ate my last messy meal for the next couple of months. I'm going to do it a month at a time, I think. So I'm going to get me some salads, some fruit, some baked goods, and I'm going to go with that because, and I mean baked goods like baked chicken and baked meats, okay? Because that doggone airport or aircraft seatbelt has truly humbled me. And I don't want that to happen again. I don't know who they made them seats for, but they have definitely humbled me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is uh, fix that. See, you gotta know when to fix things. You gotta know what's not pleasing to you. You understand? See, you don't do stuff because other people tell you to do it. You do it because you know that you need to do it. And so this is something that I feel I need to do. Even though I don't have any medical issues and stuff like that, baby, them seatbelts humbled me this trip here. So we're gonna make that right. We're gonna make that right real quick, okay? Listen, so that was the revelation right there. The revelation is I need to get unhumbled. Okay. I need to be unhumbled when I get on the aircraft. Other than that, it's all good in the hood. But let me tell you about the aircraft. It's some baby, let me tell you, it's some characters in that airport. There are some characters in that airport. This lady, now I'm sitting in the corner all by myself, trying to get away from people because, as you know, if y'all don't know, I don't like to be around a crowd. So I moved in that airport, I know about 2, 3, 4 times. Probably about 3 or 4. And so I found me a spot on the end where nobody's sitting on the other side of me. So these people got up and here come this lady, Messy Betty. Let me call her Messy Betty. Messy Betty comes and sit by me, and she's eating out of this little plastic bag where I guess she done made her some snacks. Messy Betty done spilled the food all up on my side. She's sitting maybe a couple of chairs or a chair, and she's sitting here and in another chair, but she wasn't up on me. But how you get food all over here by where I am? When I tell you it was making my skin crawl, because I'm like, you're really messy. Crumbs everywhere and stuff like that. It was turning something up in my doggone that OCD was working today at that airport. And I know it was because it was so many people in there. And then she came in there and I just feel like she invaded my space. So then she dropping crumbs. And I mean, y'all, I'm talking about big crumbs of stuff on the floor. I know you dropped that on the floor, Miss Betty, and you're not even going to pick it up. So I had a problem with that. Then you had these women, and I guess this is what y'all do. I don't know, but they laying on the floor like they home in the bed. They got their pillow on the floor and they're laid out on the floor to my left, right? And I mean, I just felt like, they were closing in on me, which is too much. It was too much for me, because I'm just not used to all them people up in my space, and I felt like they was in my space, right? So I have to get used to traveling like that all over again because I'm normally driving or somebody driving me. But between them going to bed on the floor and Messy Betty spilling stuff all over everywhere, and then the ladies on the plane just yapping and yap, yap, yap. I mean, I'm like, Lord, I know they're not going to talk this whole plane right. I need for them to be quiet so I can read my book. Yes, read my book. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we learned a lot. I learned a lot. I can't talk to about nobody else, but I learned a lot this past few days. I can't wait till we implement some of the stuff that we learned. I can't wait to excuse me, to just start going around and like I had already started visiting the schools more and stuff. Trust and believe, I'm gonna be up in your schools. You don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna be up in your school. I'm coming to somebody's school this week. Trust me. But I mean, it was so much information. And y'all know the little guy, his name is Brandon. I forgot the last name, but he rides a little scooter. He's has dwarfism. He's extreme dwarfism. So he rides a little scooter and he talks about bullying in school and how he was bullied in school. And let me tell y'all, oh, if I won't gut punch when he said the school that he went to was in Virginia, I was done. I was like, it had to be Virginia. He's 25 years old, an excellent public speaker. I mean, excellent public speaker. And he just made you, you know, become one with his story. I can only imagine him, being bullied over something that he definitely could control, because he couldn't control how he was born, and to the point where he wanted to commit suicide. And we know that that's what happens, to a lot of our young people and to adults too. So be mindful when you're being mean to people and talking about them and just plotting against them. That's a lot. It takes a lot out of people, and everybody can't just ignore it and move on. So we have to be careful on how we treat folks, because it might be your word might be the last thing they hear before they decide that they're no longer needed here with us on earth. So let's treat people with respect and love, the same respect and love that we want shown to us. Let's show it to other people, because that bullying is something else. Now let me tell y'all this. Let me get on the other story with a picture and a little narrative that I gave y'all. The picture of me and Layla Ali. Okay. Now let me tell y'all, it was so many people in that line. And I didn't want to wait in line. I didn't want to wait in that line to get me a good picture in the book. So uh y'all know what I did. So I ain't gotta say what I did. So I got up there within about less than 5 minutes. I'm up there with Layla Ali. And so I didn't have time to talk to her about what my backstory is. So I got up there to take the picture with Layla Ali. Okay. And I was like a kid in the candy store. And I know it's hard for the young folks like my son and maybe those in their 30s and even maybe 40s to understand exactly how I felt or the effect that she had on some of us older women. Well, some of us that was into boxing and stuff like that. See, I always been kind of hardcore. I always had the jobs that you had to wear uniforms. I always was physical. You know what I'm saying, the boxing and stuff like that. Okay. So what happened, I was maybe 19 years old. I would say I was 19, maybe 18, but probably 19. I was stationed in Hawaii. And so what happened, they wanted to start a female boxing team. Okay. So the man, I think his name was Sergeant Rodriguez. It was either Sergeant Rodriguez or Son Gonzalez. He came to me. He said, McSwain, do you want to box? He introduced me to his other boxer that had already been competing for the Army, but it was a man. And he said, this is my boxer right here, and he boxes for the Army, and that's all he does. All he does is train. He don't have to do his work, don't have to do his MOS. He just trained to box. He just trained to box. So I'm like, hey, that sounds good. I ain't gotta work. They're gonna move me out of my job to let me train to box, and I'm still gonna get paid. All I gotta do is box and compete. So I said, yeah, I want to do it. So we setting up a team. I'm finding girls that he think that he can work with to train to box. Okay. So Baby, let me tell you something. Me and my grown self, I don't even make it to the first match because I get pregnant. And that's what happened to my boxing career all over. It's over. I got pregnant. So like I said, I was about 19 when I started. Okay. So my boxing career was quite short. So I think I was about 25 when Layla Ali came out. I had to be about 25 when she came out fighting and beating everybody and stuff like that. But I noticed that 25, she wasn't really fighting um good people. To me, they weren't good people. You know what I'm saying? Because when she fought Chrissy was old by then for the most part. Chrissy won't like she was when she came out. Everybody know who Chrissy is. Y'all look up Chrissy, the woman that they compared to Mike Tyson when she came out. When Chrissy was fighting, Chrissy was tearing them up. Chrissy was bad, okay? But by the time she fought Layla Ali, Chrissy wasn't that same Chrissy that came out before. If y'all don't believe me, just look it up. Look it up on YouTube. Because boxing was what I did. I loved it. And so I told my mom that I was gonna go back to training to box, right? I had my son probably may have been about 5 or whatever. I was telling everybody that I thought I could beat Layla Ali, and I did. And I was going to train so that I could beat her. I was going to go back to train so that I could prove that I could beat her. So I could prove that the people that she was fighting weren't worth anything. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like her competitors were not skilled. That's how I felt. And I felt like she needed a real boxer, which I felt was me. And so I was like, I'm going to box her. I'm going to train and then I'm going to compete against her. I never realized that I had to be in her weight class and I wasn't at the time. I was only 135 at the most, 135. Then it didn't matter if I was short or not. You had to be in her weight class. And so I just wasn't in her weight class. But at that time, in that moment, I didn't care. All I knew is I want to fight Layla Ali. And I'm going to beat her. And I'm going to prove that the people that she's been fighting won't worth nothing. Won't worth a hill of beans because she haven't met the right one. That was the words I used. She hadn't met the right one yet. She hadn't met the right one. And so I was going to fight her. I definitely was. I was serious. It wasn't a joke because y'all know I joke. I was joking when I was young. But it wasn't a joke. I was going to compete, go back to boxing, training to box, and I was going to compete and I was going to challenge Layla Ali. Point blank period. Point blank period. My mom, my mama tell you, my mom was like, she gonna knock my baby unconscious. My poor baby, this is how my mama used to be. My poor baby is delusional. I wasn't delusional. I was just competitive. I was competitive, and in my heart of hearts and in my mind, I knew that was something that I could do at that time. I knew I could. I was very good. I was a very good boxer. I was a very good boxer, and I was a very good martial artist. Okay, let me tell you, when I had my son, when he had got maybe about 5 or 6, because I opted out of boxing. I just said, forget it. Okay. And so I started doing martial arts. I put my son in martial arts. And the reason why it was important for him to be in martial arts because he was the only child and I hadn't planned on having any more kids. And I wanted to make sure he had that extra boost of confidence to be able to protect himself. Because one thing martial arts do, let me tell y'all about this for any of y'all that wants to put your kids in martial art, is not for them to be out here fighting. It's to build their confidence and to give them skills to where they can keep people from hurting them. You understand? But not to just downright hurt people, is to keep people up off of them. And so with my son, I wanted to make sure that he had that courage behind the skills that he already had as far as fighting. Because yes, I taught my son to box too, okay? But I'm the mama. You know, a lot of boys don't want to listen to mama and all that stuff. So I had to give him something else. So I put him in martial arts. And I did martial arts with him so that I could coach him along the way. So I ended up being his coach. I was also a referee. I got my paperwork somewhere, but I carry my stuff with me. So if you don't believe me, ask me. I'll show you my card. I got I became a referee for the Junior Olympics. So I was judged the Junior Olympics. I coached my son in the Junior Olympics. He came in third place, but the way they judge it was crazy because my son actually lost because they allowed this young boy to run, and you're not supposed to run when you're doing, competing. But they allowed him to run because if my son had got him, it would have been over. But the way he didn't have to, the way they judged it, he ended up third place, but he didn't fight for second place. It was just crazy. And my son felt like he had been robbed, which he had been robbed. And that turned him completely off of martial arts. I could not pay him really to get back into it. So what happened, because they cheated and he was like, Mama, they cheated. I don't like it. I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to do none of this anymore. I couldn't get him back on the winners side, and he was actually training so that he could go to the Olympics and compete, right? So what happened, I moved from Georgia because the Junior Olympics was in Georgia up by Tennessee. We drove all the way up there, and I coached my baby to a win. Actually, out of his whole class, he was the only one that won. So then, matter of fact, the other man didn't want me to coach his son. Now, this was the funny part. I was a black belt, but I was a female. This brown belt male, and he looked like he was Asian. He was Asian. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you how people do. This black man wanted him to coach his son. He didn't want me to coach his son. So the whole time, he didn't want me to coach his son. So when we get up there, the Asian man coached a young man, and the young man got annihilated. I mean, tore out the frame. It was embarrassing, okay? I coached my son, and my son won, okay? So then here comes the black man coming asking me would I coach his son. I said, how can I coach your son through a competitive fight? I said, I never coached them in training. How can I coach your son now? He's fighting now. He's competing now. How can I coach him in this competition when I never was able to coach him in training? And he was like, well, it don't matter. Your son won, your son. I said, because I trained my son. You didn't want me to coach your son. You wanted that man over there to coach your son. So needless to say, his son didn't win because I can't coach you if I never coached you in training. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we got to understand. Just because I'm a woman, or just because she's a woman, doesn't mean she cannot do a good job or just as well as a man. And that's what we have to get out of these days. Women can do some of the same thing that men can do. I ain't gonna say all the things, because I know I can't lift a whole bunch of weight and never could do that. And I couldn't do pull-ups either. Let's get that straight. Okay, so I say some of the same things, but they judged me because I was a woman in martial arts, and they thought that I couldn't teach their sons. And both of their sons lost in that competition, and my son was actually the only one that went back to the school with a win. And that, because you gotta understand, he won his individual fights first place, okay? And then he won his forms. And then when the final came to see who actually placed, he ended up third place. And we talking about kids from all over. If y'all ever been to a martial arts competition. They fighting on different mats. They competing on different mats. It's just a whole bunch of going on, right? And I don't yeah, I didn't compete that time, but I have competed in the same arena as my son. I have competed in the same arena as my child. And let me tell you, so you cannot judge a book by its cover because they was judging me. They just knew that I couldn't. Okay. But I remember when I did the same thing, I was sparring with this girl, and the girl was heavy. I wasn't heavy. I was in shape. And for the most part, I was. She was a heavy girl, and I was like, okay, I'm about to get her. I'm about to get her. I'm about to get her. That girl kicked me so doggone hard, right? It just stunned me because I'm like, where'd that come from? Okay. But the thing was, she was experienced in martial arts. So I had to handle her like she was experienced in martial arts. And that taught me a lesson to always handle everybody like they're experienced in martial arts until they show you that they're not. You cannot judge a book by its cover. And that's all I was saying about me and Lady Ali. I might have been a little short thing right there, whatnot, and I would have had to bob and weave and get all in between. But I really believe that I could have took her. I do. I could have took her. And my mom was like, do you realize that she comes from that? She is the daughter of the greatest. I was trying to hear that. My P-Town was on go, baby. I was trying to hear all that. I was acting like a true Portsmouth woman. A true Portsmouth woman. And I wasn't trying to hear all of what Mom was talking about. And you weren't going to tell me that I couldn't beat her. I never thought for 1 minute that I couldn't beat her. Not then. Not when I was 25. Now that I'm not 25 no more, I realized the error of my ways. I realized that my baby saved my life. I realized that I made the proper choice of going into martial arts because I realized that woman would kill me. I realize that now. But back then, when I was 25, I didn't realize none of that stuff. I knew I was going to get it. I was going to get it. I was going to get it. And believe me, I certainly wasn't going to get it. She was going to kill me. She was going to knock me unconscious, just like my mama said she was. I truly, truly accept that right now. And I'm so grateful that the Lord saved me from not only embarrassment, but from hurt and pain. Okay, and torture even. So I just, but that is my story. So when I saw her, because we didn't know she was going to be there. I didn't know. But wait a minute, I saw her on the schedule, but it didn't dawn on me until I saw her picture. And I was like, yes, my girl. And I'm telling you, it was only her and Michael Jackson made me act the fool. Michael Jackson because of, everybody love Mike that love him. And her because I always really wanted to be a boxer. After she came out, that's when I wanted to start boxing again, and I never did it. And I'm fine with it because martial art filled a void as well too. Because I was good in martial arts, I really was. And now I haven't studied or practiced in a long time. I probably should have kept doing it, but they say if you ever need it, it'll come back to you like riding a bike. I hope so, but it filled that void that I needed because I didn't box. You know what I'm saying? But I really wanted to box. I had gloves. As a matter of fact, I got pink gloves at home unless somebody got rid of them. But I got a pink set of boxing gloves at home. Because that was my color, pink. Yup, sure did. I wonder if them things got rid of my gloves. My son's always such and stuff. They probably gone. But yup, I had a pink set of boxing gloves and whatnot because boxing was my love. And so, and that was the story about me and Lady Ali. I was her number one contender. She didn't know it, and thank God she didn't, because she probably would have pushed me into training so I could fight her. Because, like she said, she had difficulty finding people to fight. They had difficulty finding people to fight her because she was so big. She was so heavy. I think she said she was like 164 pounds. I wasn't nowhere near it for real. And if I had put on some weight, I wouldn't have been able to move to compete against her. But my mom was like, "You weren't just telling me you was gonna fight her. You was telling everybody that you was gonna fight her." She was like, I was like, "Is something wrong with my baby?" Oh, I wish she was here to tell the story, y'all, because my mama is so funny when she be talking about it. I mean, I just be dying laughing. Cause she said, I just knew my baby was gonna get knocked out unconsciously. But it's all in love, because I was really really, really fascinated. Happy to see my Shiro. And then, y'all, I got a video coming with just her stuff on it. Yep, yes, I do. I'm gonna put y'all a video out with just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And it might end up being 2 videos, because I done took so many doggone pictures of her, because I am a true fan of the GOAT of my time. Okay. I'm not taking nothing from anybody else, not knocking anybody, but she is the GOAT of my time, okay? And what she did, nobody else has done during that time. So she's a legend. Like I said, we're not gonna put anybody down. Y'all can have whoever y'all want to. Just like we had Janet Jackson, y'all got Beyonce. And we had Whitney Houston, y'all got Beyonce. We had Mariah Carey, y'all got Beyonce. And you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's each generation, and we have who we had. Y'all have who you had, and you can't compare the two. You can't compare them. That's like that craziness with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. We had Michael Jordan. Y'all got LeBron James, but I mean, Michael Jordan was bad. Not even when he was bad during our time, he still his badness is bad for this time too. I mean, to tell you the truth, but I'm not gonna sit here and try to compare him with one of these young boys up here. I'm not gonna do that. But hey, everybody had their shero and their hero, right? And so I'm thankful that I was able to meet mine before I left this earth. And I thank God, and I say thank you to Portsmouth for my position, that I was able to be blessed to meet my Shiro. Okay, especially while I'm training and learning how to be better in this position, how to be a better leader, how to do the things that we need, or to figure out what are some of the things that we need in our district. So I am so grateful for that. Okay. And y'all just sit back and relax, just relax. Okay. Just relax. Y'all got some people on this in these positions that really want to do work. And I mean, chill on the criticism. Okay. Chill on that, because I ain't like other people. I don't know what y'all thinking, but I'm not like other people. Okay. I truly want to give back to my community. I came back here to give back to my community. I love my community, and my community was good to me growing up, and I want to make sure that we're good to these kids growing up. Remember, God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself. Then you can properly go on and love someone else. Until we shall meet again, may you be tremendously blessed. And if y'all want to go to the gym with me, hit me up. Don't play with me, though. And I hope, make sure you straight, and we can meet at the gym and work out for about 35 minutes to an hour. I ain't working out too much, and if you like to swim, let me know. We'll get in the water and we'll swim, but make sure you can swim, because I'm not going there to be no lifeguard. I'm going there to work out. If you can't swim, we won't do water works, okay? Because I'm not trying to save nobody's life. I'm trying to work out. I ain't trying to be fumbling with you and you can't swim in the water and you drown and I'm trying to work out. Okay, so if you can't swim, we won't do water work. Only people who can swim will we get in the water together, okay? I did all that stuff in the military. I'm not trying to do it no more. I stay away from the water for real, okay? But I can't swim. If you can't swim, we won't work in the water. All right. Like I said, I love you. And you take care of yourself. See y'all soon.